Okay, so this is where I have left off with my weaving, and um, it's got some loose ends and loose pieces, and I want to show you the back. So there are a whole bunch of different ways to handle your edges. Tying one thread or yarn right to the next one and just keep going is a great idea. I had some places where I wanted to kind of come in, and then I had some stuff that I added after I was done the weaving because I was like, oh, it needs a little more. So I have these ends, and I'm going to show you how to kind of weave them back in after it's removed from the loom. And I also want to show you how I was trying to handle the extra stuff as I was still weaving. So if it was getting in my way, I taped it to the back of the loom. So let's start by taking this off. That is definitely stuck in there. There we go. All right, and now I have to get the weaving off of these, and I don't want to distort my weaving too much. Now I did end up using this crochet hook quite a bit, sewing needle, quite a bit. And if I hadn't had one, I would have kept this weaving much simpler, but I did kind of get carried away. So what I'm doing is I'm using it to pull, this is my top, so I'm going to start with this, pull this off, and then I have these three little loops, and I really, really want to keep my weaving from sliding off the top of it. So I have these two little branches that I like, and I'm going to use one for the top and I think one for the bottom. So I'm going to put this here, and this here. Here. And now you have a whole bunch of aesthetic choices that you can make, right? You can glue this on if you want, you cannot if you don't. And you can wrap these around and tie them on, which I think I will do. This is still part of my warp thread, so that I have a fourth loop. I'm actually going to probably clean that up after the video because I think it'll take me a little while to do. And then I want to show you how I'm handling these. Can you see this okay? So I'm on the back of my weaving. And if this is like short like this is, I am going to try to get you the best view. I'm going to have to push my sewing needle in a little bit first. So I'm going to find a color, a light color that I want to use, and I'm going to go over and under a warp thread, and I want to end up out the back. Now, remember that trick of folding it over so that it goes into the eye a little bit easier. And then I'm going to kind of gently pull this in. I really don't want to distort my weaving, but I also want to keep that sort of tucked in and safe. And I can do that with all of these loose ends, which actually I plan to do. And I'll pause the video and I'll come back when I have this a little bit more clean, and I'll show you how I handle the bottom. Okay, so I have done some cleanup to my piece. I wanted to just show you the bottom with a popsicle stick on it. I'm going to switch it to a stick, but I like the look of sticks. But popsicle sticks would work really well too because you can color them with marker. Pipe cleaner would work. Just about anything that would hold this in place would work great. I want my top and bottom to be sticks, and then I'm going to see if I can add a little tassel to it to give it a little extra fringe look. I used this sort of like frayed, whimsical yarn because I like when weavings have a little bit of different texture, but I think I still want there to be something hanging off of the bottom. So I've already tied this hoop, but I know I can fit that in there. There we go. Alright, so the back of my weaving is an absolute mess, and I kind of think of the back of my weaving as like, you know, my business, right? Or Vegas, or whatever you want to consider it. So if you have to get real creative with how to make the front of your weaving look good, tucking things in the back, like just cutting them off when they are snug is fine, because it's the front of your weaving that you would really want to concern yourself with. And now for the tassels, I made 4 of these. They're all the same length. And what I'm going to do is take them in the middle, right? And I'm going to push this hoop up around the bottom stick so that I can pull it across these 2 pieces, and this will hold these 2 pieces hanging low. So this is the front, and here is the bottom stick. And if I do this, and I can kind of grab, you know what? I want to go from the front to the back. I'm realizing that if I pull it the other way, I think the tassels will be forced to the back. But this way, I think they'll stay in the front. Yeah, that's better. Alright, so just to clarify, take a piece of string, fold it in the middle, and then push from, can you even see this okay? Push from the front to the back, under the bottom weft thread, around the piece that's holding this on. So if you were using a popsicle stick or a pipe cleaner or something, you'd be going around that. Pull these 2 pieces through and then snug. And I'll put one more here so that that looks kind of finished. You can also tell that I added a hanging piece at the very top. I hope you can't hear too much of the background. My son is watching The Grinch. You know. Well, you know, if you have kids, you get it, and if you are a kid, you get it, so I guess we're all in good shape. Okay, so there is my weaving. I'm really glad that you stuck with me for these steps. This was a lot of fun. Thank you very, very much. I'll post more weavings and like things that you probably have in the house. We're not using too many far-fetched materials right now, and I think I'll use a lot of sticks. All right, talk to you soon.